So, for a IAS officer, after his or her training, is that the first post?
No, actually, the BDO stint is something that we do within our training period.
Okay.
But I had a slightly longer period as BDO during training because there was no BDO of Kalimpong at that time.
Okay.
And of course, after training, I got posted as SDO of Kalimpong.
Okay.
So I was assistant magistrate in Purulia and Darjeeling districts, BDO of Kalimpong, and then SDO of Kalimpong.
So how was that experience? I mean, the location is very beautiful.
It was a very
surrounded by mountains.
Great experience because we were tackling the GNLF agitation at that point of time. And it involved a lot of raw courage.
Okay.
It involved understanding a degree of nuance. It involved a lot of coordination with the Central Armed Police Forces. It involved keeping the morale of the government of West Bengal employees high. It involved maintaining a dialogue with the people of Kalimpong, required coordination with the army authorities, and it also required, reaching outreach to the students, to teachers, to community leaders.
Try and cool it down.
To cool it down and to understand what the real issues are.
But that was your main at that point of time.
At that point of time, you see, the mandate was that you should keep the flag flying.
Yes.
Because for a long time, even the flag could not be flown on the SDO's office.
Okay.
So I remember going up and flying the flag.
Okay.
So that was a great moment, because the flag had not been flown for quite some time.
Yeah.
So one had to go, and so my task was just to keep the flag flying, And almost everything had come to a standstill. We had 40 days ban, we had alternate days ban. So it was a very tough situation.
Was it kind of Kashmir during the early 90s?
I would not, no, it was not Kashmir of the 1990s, because in Kashmir, the Pakistan factor has always been there.
Okay.
You see, here in Darjeeling, the issue was that they were saying that we want a separate state within the Union of India.
Okay.
Now, it's a very important distinction to be made. You see, in part of the demand of the terrorists of Kashmir way back in the 80s and 90s was aligned towards out of India, Whereas Gorkhaland never wanted an independent state. They wanted to be out of Bengal. So there's a lot of difference between these two agitations.
Okay.
So that's a major difference. I mean, at no point of time did they want to become part of Nepal. No point of time did they want to be out of India. They wanted a separate state/union territory within the Union of India.
So that is the main difference between both the agitation.
And also another factor was that the leadership of the GNLF came from ex-army men.
Okay.
You see, because the recruitment of people in the Indian Army from amongst the Nepalese/Gorkhas of Darjeeling is much higher. I mean, there hasn't been that sort of recruitment to the Indian Army or the Indian police forces from ethnic Kashmiris or from people who belong to the Kashmir Valley. So these are two major differences. So while it was a major challenge because we did not want the troops in the Indian Army to be affected by this agitation, the fact was that it was like a grievance which could be resolved. They wanted to be heard, and so once the matter was heard. And of course, there was violence, because violence, once it starts in the state, has to respond. The state cannot accept the fact that law and order situation breaks down completely. So of course, police and the CRPF and the BSF had to be deployed to aid the civil administration.